So 4:30 this morning, I was on this road right here, running the 2-mile course for EIB. And 10 hours later, day one, I failed. So let me explain a little bit. Today was a day I wasn't even worried about. So it was just PT test and then 10 of the 30 easier lanes. So PT test went well. I ran like the fastest 2-mile time I've done in like 3 years. It was 12:45. And then the first 6 of 10 lanes, I was true blue, no no-goes, everything was going smooth. I finished the first 6 in like 2.5 hours, and I got the hand grenades. And hand grenades is one of the uncertain tasks we had to do because part of it's like putting it in the right placement and getting the right bounce, and then you have to have some sort of luck for it to bounce into the right position. So I walk up the hand grenades the first time, and I throw my first hand grenade into the circle pit. First throw, you get 5 hand grenades, and you need to get 2 targets completed. So the first one, I'm good. I have 4 hand grenades left for a bunker. It's just like this 2-foot by probably 3-foot bunker that's like 35 meters away from position, and I couldn't get any of those 4 in. So I get one more try. If I get 2 no-goes per station, you're out, you're done. So once again, second iteration, I throw the first one in the pit, it goes right into the circle. So I have 4 hand grenades once again for the bunker. And I could not get it in the bunker. I could not get this 1 hand grenade in the bunker. I had 8 opportunities and I couldn't get it. So I was a no-go at that station and a no-go at EIB. So unfortunately I'm done, but honestly that was like the least of my worries. Hand grenades was the least of my worries. I was more worried for the weapon systems, which was on Wednesday. So we started with I think like 170 in the battalion, and by the end of the day we were down to maybe 50, something like that. That's just day 1 out of 4. So that's what happened. I failed EIB. This is my first thing since being in the military that I've ever failed. Any school, any test. And I'm pissed off at myself. Like, I'm disappointed. But at the same time, if it was any other event, like Pro Mask or Call for Fire or anything like that, I would have been more mad at myself because it was something I was in complete control of. Hand grenades got a lot of people because when we were testing and practicing, I got every single one in. I never missed a hand grenade throw, but I had some lucky bounces. Some rolled in by themselves. So in the back of my head, I was nervous that I wasn't going to get it because I was getting so much luck. The swarms of bugs in Korea are insane. But at the end of the day, I did all I could, thanking my EIB. But now that it's over, I can put more emphasis back on my training, on this cut, and in my business. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so breakfast is these black bean protein brownies. It's actually really good. When I was making these, like the batter actually tastes like brownie mix. I'll show you what's in them. It makes 5 brownies. Lately, as soon as I've been waking up, I've been getting really hungry, so I can't really wait till after PT. So I've been making something prior to going into PT and doing some sort of exercise to hold me over for my workout too. So the base for this is 2 servings of black beans, so 1 cup. I just drained them, then mashed them up with a fork. If you have like a food processor, that'll work better. 3 tablespoons of unsweetened Hershey's cocoa, a 1/4 cup of sugar-free syrup, a 1.5 scoops of just a chocolate protein powder. This is actually a fudge brownie protein powder, which it works out good, but any chocolate protein powder will be fine. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, help it rise a little bit. 1/2 tablespoon of Nestle chocolate chips, a few packs of sweetener, some sea salt, 4 tablespoons, 2 servings of coconut flour, and then 1 egg white. And then you just bake it 350 for 15 minutes. And then my weight this morning, so it's sitting around the same the last couple days, so 205.2. No, on Saturday it was 205, and then after the refeed day, it's my alarm, it's 5:30 right now. PT. And after refeed day, it was 206.8, and then this morning, 205.2. So we kept PT pretty light today, just like some pull-ups, P90X ab ripper. So I'm about to hit the gym. Got intra-flight, creatine monohydrate, and then flight pre-workout. Now the pump product, I delayed a little bit because I decided to change the flavor. Originally, we were going to do a lemon lime, but the other day I was drinking a pineapple, just like 0-calorie carbonated water that I got at the grocery store, and it made me think of something I want to work on. So I delayed that process. We went back to R&D, and I'm trying some different flavors. So changes, but all for a good reason. It'll be worth it when it gets released. So we are 9 weeks into the cut officially. And if you go back to my first video explaining why I was going into a cut, the primary reason was because when I was sitting upwards of like 230 pounds, it was making running really difficult, especially like 5 to 6 miles. And being a platoon leader, that just wasn't kind of the perception I wanted to give off to my platoon and my guys. But I've been a platoon leader for like 16 months now. Typically you're a platoon leader between 9 and 18 months. So my time in this position and this job is coming to an end very shortly. But I wanted to finish off my time here strong. So that's like the main reason I cut. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I was able to bring my 2-mile time down to like 12:45. So it was sitting around 13:30 when I was at my heaviest in the bulk. So bringing that down 45 seconds over the course of 9 weeks is a positive, as well as the results I've made in my physique. Now, I've been looking back at why this cut has been so successful so far. Like, I haven't grinded through any of it at all, other than like EIB prep and train up. Yeah, that was a little hard because I was in the field for like 14 hours a day. But every other time I've cut and done a diet, it's been for either a specific reason, a specific event, a specific location. Here's clips of what I'm currently looking like right now, sitting at 205. Extremely happy with the progress so far. And this cut hasn't been difficult for me. Like, I haven't gone into a very deep deficit. Carbs are still at 325. But like I was saying, like, my previous diets and cuts have been for something specific. So I had this amount of time to lose this amount of weight to look like this. And for this one, I'm just cutting to cut. You know, I don't have anything specific I'm dieting for. And that allows me to take it very slow and deliberate and make changes only when absolutely necessary. Like, if I was cutting for a show right now, I think I would need another 10 weeks. At the speed I'm going, I wouldn't lose weight as fast as I've been, but I'd really slow it down, and I wouldn't make as drastic changes to macros. And I think that's why it's been successful so far, and I've lost a substantial amount of weight and been able to maintain my intensity in the gym and in my training sessions. So for some reason, for the past month, I've had no hot water. It's just been cold water for my shower. For my sink, it's fine, it's hot water. And I finally got used to it, and now I have hot water again, and it's a game changer. Absolute game changer. Alright, so just got home from work. Now, when I'm dieting, I like to get a lot of my calories around my training sessions. Because I'm training in the morning now, I'll have a really big breakfast, a big post-workout / lunch meal, and then dinner is higher in volume, lower in calories. It's actually really lower in calories. I'm about to show you what it is right here. It's been my same dinner for like the past 3 weeks. And then meal 3, what I always do is, because I'm not really sure where I'm going to be during the day, and it's just for convenience, what I do all the time is I just take a little Tupperware container with me that has 2 scoops of protein and 1 scoop or 1 cup of just old-fashioned oats. And then wherever I'm at, I'll just carry that around with me, add a little bit of water, mix it up, and then you can just eat it on the go. It's really convenient. That way you're not trying to find something to fit your macros or spending some extra money. And it's just the way it's been working out for me so far while on this cut, and it's been pretty successful. So dinner, I'll show you what it is right here. Actually, my only vegetable source for the day, but this is like a whole bag of just spring mix, some honey mustard, and then fat-free Italian dressing. And then I've honestly consumed enough refried beans while cutting for the rest of my life. This is 1 serving of refried beans, 2 cans of tuna, some sweet relish, mustard, and then Mrs. Dash seasoning. And then what I also like to do is, so this is a carbonated, 0 calorie, 0 sodium, 0 caffeine, just drink. It's not the best, but if you mix a carbonated beverage, like carbonated water, with something high volume like a vegetable, it'll really fill you up, and this keeps me full for the rest of the night. So yeah, it sucks that I didn't get my EIB and then I failed. But one really good learning experience, and something I've realized during this, is today at PT we got there and there were so many people sulking and feeling bad for themselves that they failed EIB. And they'll be like that for weeks. Very unproductive, just like looking down and pitying themselves for their mistakes and their failures. And this is kind of just like a waste of time. You know, like, yeah, it sucks and I'm mad and disappointed in myself. But like instantly I was like, because what happens is you fail and they have to escort you to the center. They write your name down, and it's like they escort you down the hill. It's like the walk of shame. And as I was walking down the hill, I'm like, all right, so what's next? You know, what's the new focus? EIB was the focus for like 3 weeks. Now what? Now we can put the focus back on the company and get things started for the gym and the YouTube channel again. And you know, it's what's next. What is going to take you to that next step? You can't really hang on to failure. It's not going to get you anywhere. And that was one thing that's, all right, I'm growing as a person to be able to take that step and visualize and realize that. So that's a good thing about it. You know, it's not all bad. So that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys in the next video.